Okay guys, how's it going? Miller here again. I'm finally finished and I'm showing off my large unit of Ironsides that I've done for my Eastern Association. The Ironsides were Cromwell's Ironsides, and I thought I'd get these finished before I started or moved on to another period, which would be the Landsknechts, which is in the previous video. I thought I'd better get them finished because what kind of a wargamer would I be if I didn't try and finish a project that I'd already started? These at the moment are split into two troops of horse, or two regiments of horse. But the plan is to use them as one. Originally, I'd planned to make it a one large 24-man unit, or 24-horse unit of cavalry. One, that's quite big to control anyway, and two, it would have looked a bit silly because I bought two commands for it. So you'd have two commanders, two buglers, and two cornets, and I thought it would look a bit over the top. So I'm going to quickly stop the video and rearrange it because they're not actually glued on at the moment. Ran out of super glue, and I'm either going to super glue them or pin them. I'll quickly rearrange it, show you how they're going to be when they fight as a single unit, and then I'll have a little talk about the regiment, so bear with me. Okay, so this is what they're going to look like when they're on the table. Obviously smaller, it's only a 20-man unit, 20-horse unit, and that is probably a bit more manageable for moving around the table. So like I've said, these are going to be Cromwell's Ironsides. They're not quite finished, to be fair. I've not got the cornet on them at the moment because I haven't had a chance to pick out flags that I actually like and think are worth picking up. I haven't got any flags on any of my troops of horses at the moment, so that is a plan to sort them out at some point. So originally Cromwell's Ironsides were raised by a captain, Oliver Cromwell. Originally they were for not even normal horse troops like you would know, like these. They were arquebusiers, and they were in the Earl of Essex's army. And he was meant to fight at Edge Hill, but he arrived too late to do anything. So he was there, but he never managed to make it to the battle. Unlike what you may have seen in the film Cromwell, where he seemed to be in command of the entire parliamentarian force and lost the battle, despite the fact that it wasn't a decisive loss for the parliamentarians. It was more of a stalemate, if not a victory, for the parliamentarians. But that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, they missed the Battle of Edge Hill, and they returned to East Anglia after a few small skirmishes in and around the area. And they made quite a name for themselves because by about 1644, they had gained the reputation of being undefeated after fighting in many skirmishes and battles and sieges. And in 1644, at the Battle of Master Moor, they had even more of a reputation because they helped, with the help of General Leslie's Scottish Covenanters, they helped to defeat Prince Rupert's forces, along with Lawrence Crawford's regiment, which is the commander who I did not that long ago. And they pretty much just made a name for themselves for being undefeated up until I think it was later on in 1644, after Battle of Newbury. They didn't fare very well in a battle where they were up against Lord Goring's cavalry, and that's the first instance where they were more or less not defeated but were repulsed till a later occasion. And again, they did come up against Goring a few months later on, and again were repulsed. But other than that, they seem to have made quite a reputation for themselves for being well disciplined. I know they were not allowed to swear or drink, and all the officers were handpicked by Oliver himself for their skills as opposed to the size of their purse. And not only that, they were loyal to him as well, and they found him as a good colonel. Obviously, Oliver had started as a captain when he raised them, and when he moved to the Eastern Association, he was made Lord General of the cavalry, which he commanded the cavalry at Marston Moor, as well as many other conflicts. Later on in 1645, the troops of horse were split between different regiments. Some joined Waller, and then later on in 1645, with the new model army, they were all split up between Thomas Fairfax and some of the other regiments. So the Ironsides that would have been in the in the new model army would have not been the same ones that would have fought earlier on in the First Civil War. They were fresh troops. But yeah, I was really happy with getting these done. These were all bicorn. Quite expensive figures in the end. I think this is just over £90 all in all. Obviously not including basing and whatnot. Something you might notice different with these, if I just pick this one out, for instance, if I can get it to focus, the sashes on the Ironsides and on Cromwell himself would have been white, as opposed to the normal orange that you would have seen on the parliamentarians. And Oliver himself chose whites, and again with his cornet it was white because he wanted it to be plain. I don't think many people know why, but it was the way he chose it. And there's even a portrait of him wearing his white sash, which you should see right here. But yeah, these are done. I've just got to stick them on the horses. I'm wondering whether or not to pin them or anything. I'm not too sure whether or not to choose to use the commander you see there or this one. This one's a lot finer dressed, along with the bugler, which kind of makes me not want to use him, because Cromwell's men were not rich men. They weren't gentry. They were men risen from the ranks that on account of their skill. So they wouldn't have had the finer dress that the other cavalry commanders would have had, especially the royalist cavalry. Let's get it to focus. Oh my god. So I might keep the commander that I've got there. But that's it for now on this, guys. Hope you like these. I've got some more English Civil War stuff on the way later on in the week, or maybe next week. So keep an eye out on the channel if you want to see some more. And if you want to see some more stuff on the Landsknechts, keep an eye out, because I'll be doing some of them soon as well. But that's it for now, guys. Bye for now.